Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon for sadly not quite with a team adventure. We're on Fortune Island because fancied driving around some different tracks, and for whatever reason you can't do team adventures over here, which is annoying, but we're going to do some racing. We are racing a bunch of B-class cars from the 90s, and I have an Audi. In fact, me and Deathstrike have Audi RS2s. I figured we could probably chuck a load of power in, it's all-wheel drive, and hope for the best. That's what I've gone for here, basically. It's got max width standard tyres and as much power as I can get in it. And we're going to hope that will work. It won't be great through the corners, but it will be fast down the straights, or faster at least down the straights. The Puma will annihilate it through the turns. It will be very, very good. In fact, the other RS2, judging by the looks of it, pretty similar philosophy to me. This track is quite a technical one. I suspect the Puma might be a little bit untouchable around here. It might not work so well off-road. Oh, there's a understeering Evo, which makes me suspect that's sort of similar sort of build to me. I don't know what we've got leading the way. I think it's an 850 actually up at the front of the race. We've not had a terrible start so far. We've worked our way through the field. The other RS2. You know, I feel that same pain. I feel that same pain very much through that section. I just did exactly the same thing. We've got a lot of power coming up this hill, and the cars ahead of us do not have any answer for the speed of the RS2, but then we just understeer a million miles through the corner. The Nissan. Oh God, that is not where the road goes. That's no, that's my bad as well. A little bit on there. I did not realise that was. I just thought that corner was wider. I don't know why. Okay, well, we're up to 6th. We're up to 6th on the back of the grid. You know, normally not too bad going. It's just the manner of which we're up to 6th. Yeah, this track really does not work for my car at all. It's just way too understeery for this, and it's almost constant corner. The only thing I can do is it makes it really difficult to pass in places. It's very slow through these corners, and then you saw how quick it was going up the hill. Yeah, it can be a pain in the arse to overtake. What we got? Okay, so it's Volvo leading Ford. Front-wheel drives are running away in this one so far. We are at least neatly done around there. I mean, this is a bit where we can at least stretch the legs of the Audi slightly, make the most of some of that power, and then we have to frantically try and slow it down here. Deathstrike was again wide. I feel the same suffering in my car. And then we have this hill. I mean, this is the best bit of the track for my car, is that we've just got so much power coming up this hill. The other cars do not, and they can't match the speed, but then I've got to try and make a corner, and then that we struggle with. God. This is a long lead, similar lines to the builds I had with the Typhoon. I've had with the Cyclone as well. Sort of all-wheel drive, a good chunk of power. I think they're actually lighter than this Audi. Weirdly, they are. This is slightly more powerful than the trucks, but they were lighter. This didn't have much PI to play with, which is why I've gone the route that I have with this. Come on, understeery boat. Oh, we're going to do exactly the same thing. I mean, the Nissan behind is going to have a look, and it's not going to have... Oh, he's going to get underneath this time on the exit. Good move. It's a good move from the camo car. I mean, it'll do that, and then I'll probably blitz past it on the next straight, because that's all grip and absolutely no top end. More so than the Celica, as you can see. Although I've got nowhere to go here. We will get it... Well, we get past here, but we're going to have to kind of defend a little bit up to the inside. I can't stop my car in time. We'll run wide on the exit once more. Okay, well, it's a battle for 6th. Yeah, we're going to get back past on the run up the hill. That'll be 6th place back into the hands of the Audi. We're going to understeer quite a lot, and we're still going to sit side by side all the way through here. This time we'll give some more space on the outside. I will remember that corner doesn't have as much, it's not as wide as I was thinking it was, and we will park it on the apex at the final corner a little bit. Still going to fight its way past again, and then we'll out-drag it towards this next corner. Can't make life difficult this time around because I simply cannot take the speed through the turn. we're going to have to be very slow through there. That is going to fall off the track a little bit. I mean, that's good news for me. It's lost some time. I feel like either everyone's picked up speed or I've got slower. Everyone's found more speed with their vehicles than I have. In fact, the other RS is also struggling. It's just lost out to the Celica. The rain is subsiding in all of this. Not that that makes a crazy difference in the grand scheme of things. We'll bobble our way across the grass a little bit there. I mean, we've got a huge amount of momentum coming here. We go to the inside. Can I stop it in time? We park it on the apex. We make the Audi annoying. I've done this race many a time, and there's many a time before. It's that you've got the straight line speed car, so we're just going to park it. We're going to park it on the apex of all the corners, and the Nissan couldn't get off that turn and has now fallen back, although I've butchered up the next corner a little bit. So we've bought ourselves some space. Whether it's going to be enough, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We're miles down on two front-wheel drive monsters. They are long gone around this track. This is a challenging circuit, shall we say, and my power car not enjoying it quite as much, but hopefully some other ones might work. I don't know. Little concerned now. I was hoping for better, if I'm honest with you. I was thinking we might see. We had a good race over 6th, but I was hoping to be further up the field. It might just be an outlier, might just be a track that doesn't suit the car. That's what I'm kind of counting on here. Fingers crossed and everything. Oh, God. We got Nissan for company. We may well have to... we might be far enough away, actually. We don't have to defend until the finish line. Because we can pull away down here and then we'll pull away up the hill. Celica is still battling away with the other Audi up ahead. Maybe closer a little bit this lap, I think. More because they're fighting than because I've done anything different. Does look like the other RS2 is going to hold on to that for them. We're miles down on that top pair. They're so much quicker than us. I knew the Puma was good. I didn't realise the 850 was quite as fast as it's proving to be here. I mean, I presume it's going to be okay, but yeah, I didn't realise it was going to take the fight quite as well. It didn't beat the Puma, but it's not... Oh, God, why do I think the finish line was down that straight? Don't know. Not used to be so far back. almost made a big mistake. It was a fun battle. We had a fun battle. The track did not suit my car at all. We're going to have to hope for better next race. We head off-road for our next race. I'm hoping we might work a bit better here. I don't know. There's an RS2 on pole. We're buried in the middle of the pack. It's ambitious with this car. It might work. It has. As I said, it's got great power. Great straight line speed at this track. Maybe we can see something happen. We've got to be careful of the hairpin. Now there are going to be some two-wheel drive cars that are going to be able to get off the line. Someone's bound to have bought rally tyres. Probably not one of the all-wheel drive machines. Not impossible, but I would be surprised if they would have done. Just the PI you'd have is massive. You wouldn't get very many upgrades. In the RS2, I don't even think it can get rally tyres to stay in B class, or if it does, it doesn't get anything else. So it's a big stop down at the hairpin. Now, anyone does have rally tyres, they're going to have a lot more grip. I mean, I'm an understeery boat. The Puma, no idea. The Escort might. That might be the one vehicle that would get away with rally tyres in B class and be all-wheel drive. Oh, unless it's got conversions, I don't know. Oh, assistance. I'm very, very sorry, Celica. We were getting some assistance in that one towards you. Could we get an Audi 1-2? I think unlikely. I feel like we're going to try and hold everybody up. We do have a lot of power for going up this hill, which is something helpful. The other cars simply won't have, even if they have the tyres, they won't have the sheer brute force for that hill, although they're not really falling that far back. That's the concerning part. Up around the final corner we go, and that is a lap, and we are up in second. It's better around here, that much is for sure. Haven't really got an answer for the leader in the same car. Just a better built one or better driven one. Whoop. Big flight for us, and then we've got to frantically get on the brakes for the downhill section. Try and make life difficult for the Volvo. It does have a lot more grip than we do. It might just go around the outside of us. In fact, it does. I've got no answer for it. Just nothing I can do about that. It's just got way more grip than we have through all of that. Although it has almost thrown it away into the next. If I could turn my car, we could have done something there, but we couldn't. So it's gone past, and we fall to a third position. That's apparently not building good cars today. Although we haven't lost as much ground this lap on the leader as I feared we might do. No, we're still not doing great. Yeah. Well, this is one way to go about, I guess, a build for this, and it's not working for me. Ooh, almost. Almost got the wall. Yeah, we definitely not got the pace of the top two vehicles. Can we hold on to a podium? With this car, I'd actually be relatively happy with that, because it's not looked good so far in these first two races. First time flicker off to the inside. I don't know what on earth it was. It does look like the leader might get caught before the end of the race. We're going to have to defend from the Puma. The only saving grace for me is I do have a fair bit more straight line speed than it. Oh, he's going to have a look to the inside, but there's not much going there. We will chuck the car up the hill. I presume the leader must have made a mistake and we lost a second in a sector. I'm definitely not going that much faster than them. Come on. Get up the hill. We'll stay in third. Yeah, we've just got the power. We've got the power for the climb there, and then I've got to be really careful for the rest of the lap. And even this corner here. In the Puma, I bet that's not even a corner. In the Puma, I bet that's just flat out, you don't think about it. In this, it's a big lift, understeer, panic. Maybe understeer a little bit more and hope you don't hit the wall. Basically, that's that corner summed up. Here we go. Yeah, and again, we're far enough away that Impega can't do anything down here. So we know we're going to lose out a bunch of time around this section, but Impega can't catch up just yet. We will be patient a little bit through all of that. We slid a bit on the exit, but yeah, we're just doing enough. We're just quick enough that we can keep that Ford at bay, or we can be far enough away that the bits the Ford's strong at, it can't overtake us, and then we can just outrun it coming up this hill. Is third gear what we want? I think so for this. It seems to have worked so far. We've got one more lap, and I say this, we have still got one more lap. A mistake would be catastrophic for me, because we wouldn't be able to recover from it. We don't have time to recover from it. Come on, understeery barge. We got a final corner to make. There we go, that's better. That's actually got around that corner vaguely sensibly. Still a little slower than the cars ahead. I mean, the Volvo got past. It got to within a couple of seconds of the leader and it's not really able to do very much having got there. It maybe gains a little bit. We've kind of evened it out a smidge in terms of the gap to the leader. It's kind of held at about 6 seconds. We lose a little bit, but not crazy amounts. I've maybe figured out how to get some speed out of this car, but it might all be a little too late for me here. Oh, there's the Ford. It's still there. Still that menacing presence in the dust cloud of the RS2. Oh, that's a big bump on the inside there. Yeah, we're not great through that section. The Puma's having a look. It's going to look to the outside. It's just not going to have the grunt up the hill. That's the hope. It better not, otherwise we're in a world of trouble. If it can do something up here, because I've not got the grip to really answer it. Nah, it's a little too far back. I mean, it's going to be quick in the final corner. Is it going to be close enough to do something about the Audi? I'm hoping not. You slide through the last turn. No, it can't. It's too far back. We'll cross the line. It's a podium for the RS2. We have to work for it. I'll say that much. Yeah, we're just not quick enough. Puma had speed but couldn't find a way past me. Very much was a case of the top 4, where it was really 3 and then me a little bit further back and then the rest of the pack. The Escort may be a smidge better than the rest there. Yeah. My Audi's not great. It's okay. It's not great. So, we head next to one of the smallest tracks on the island. I say it's a small track, but some long straights. It could be good for the Audi. I don't really know, the Westwick Wharf circuit. It's got some straights, but it's also got some very tight corners. It's possible the Audis could be roadblocks. I've not got a good spot on the grid. We're buried quite a long way down the order. We'll be halfway up the field by the time we get to turn 1, but yeah, it's going to be a case of hold on for dear life in the corner, defend in the corners, make Audi wide, it will be, and hope that the straights are enough, but I don't, I'm not sure they're going to be long enough straights. We will see though, we will see on this race. This track has worked for acceleration cars in the past, so maybe it'll work again for me, don't know. We're going to work our way up into 5th at least, before we're out of ghost mode. I fear the Volvo and the likes of the Volvo and the Puma are going to be not that much slower down the straights and just so much better in the corners. Oh, the other RS2 went for a dive. The Volvo just carried too much speed into the corner, as did I. I wasn't going for a dive on anybody, I just couldn't get stopped. And this section here is going to be good for the Audi. It's the outside now of the Celica. Going to the outside of the 850R as well, down here. And on the brakes we go for turn 1. Can we duck underneath the other RS2s ensnared in a fight with an Escort? There's a 155 that is leading the way. It's actually just come out on Horizon for today, which is cool to see. I look forward to getting it because I love the 155. Wonderful, wonderful touring car. Many wacky stories about that one. Yeah, it had the, like, there's the 155 had the wing that was like, they had to be allowed to run aero parts, they had to be made on the road car, and to get around that, Alfa Romeo put the aero parts on the road car but had them like hidden. I think that was the 155 they did that with. Like it was like snuck into like the boot of the car. So I presume if you got a production one, if you went looking and knew where to find it, you could like flip the switch and then suddenly had the aero bits on. It was yeah. Motorsport and cheating is always entertaining stories out there. Not quite as good as the old Celica, but we don't quite have the right Celica, do we? Do we have the right Celica? I can't remember which GT4 it was that was the sneaky turbo. I think it was the... Maybe it is the 90's one. I was thinking it was the older one, but no, maybe it was the 90's one that had the sneaky, very, very clever turbo. It's like when you've gone to greater lengths to cheat than follow the rule, like the engineering to cheat is so advanced. And you kind of admire it, it's still cheating. But I still admire the engineering that went into making that cheating device, basically. We will jump on the brakes for this first corner. Be careful that Escort doesn't try and duck back underneath. I knew it was going to try that. It's one of those, it's a little bit laggy, which is a pain. I always knew that was going to be the danger for me, because we don't have the grip to really fend off through there. This track is very good for the RS2s, to be fair. It's just too long acceleration zones. The corners I feared might be worse. They aren't. The Audi is not too bad. We're the second best RS2 here, which is a bit of a pain. Maybe we can catch. I don't actually think I'm going to have the time. Even if I'm quicker than that Alfa, I don't think I'm going to have the time to do anything about it. The Puma and Volvo just don't have the top speed. That's to be expected. We saw how unbelievably fast they were at the first race. And yeah, around here, this is a complete different style of track. It was always likely to be more of a challenge for them. We're not really catching the Alfa. We're relying on the Alfa making a mistake like it did last lap around, where it went a little wide into here. That's about the only way that we catch it. And it's maybe a little early on the brakes through there. Can we do anything now? We're on the power. It's certainly not... The Alfa's certainly got some straight line speed about it as well. So that's obviously a more power-built Alfa Romeo. I've got to try and be, I guess, brave somewhere if we're going to catch it. We're better maybe in the corners, actually. We're much closer in lap time to the leader. We're a little slower, but we're only talking a few tenths here, I should think. Unless there is a big mistake from the 155 in this corner, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that Alfa Romeo. We can catch... I mean, it's not a great turn for the Alfa, but it's not going to slow it down enough, unfortunately, for me here. Oh, it's still trying its best to manage to throw this one away through these final couple of corners. It's not a big enough mistake. We're going to catch, but not going to be enough. It's another podium. Track suited the car. We worked our way forward. I mean, lap time wise, yeah, we were better there. 4 tenths down on the leader on the other RS2. We were a couple of tenths faster than 155. Very similar though, and very similar in the ways we got our speed as well. Very, very hectic mid-pack there. The Escort claims 4th ahead of the Celica. Then we have the 2 front-wheel drive monsters, the Volvo and Puma in 6th and 7th ahead of the M3s. The Lancer Evo 6, I would presume, in there. A couple of podiums is something at least. We head off-road for our next race, the Westwick Castle Scramble. Now this is a track I might not be too bad at. I don't know. I say it, we're probably going to be kind of second to third-ish, I would expect, because we're second best of the RS2s. We are a long way back, which also doesn't help matters that we have to come from a long way back in all of these. I mean, it's pouring with rain. This is it's a muddy circuit. There's a water there's all water sections. The RS2 should be quite good at that. Other than that, I mean, I don't know really. I'm not sure how. I don't remember this circuit well enough to know kind of how fast we're going to be out here. And I haven't really figure out who's on what sort of tyres. I don't think there's really any on rally tyres around here. So yeah, we should be okay. I'm pretty sure that Nissan is not happy out here. We've got a big water section, which, as expected, the RS2 is not that bad with. So the advantage of the RS2 is, it's slightly taller than the cars around it. Now, ride height does make a difference. The big SUVs get affected by the puddles a lot less than a rally car, for example. But the other plus point for the RS2 is its power. It has a lot of power, and therefore also better at pushing through that water resistance. I have a feeling maybe the Evo, I haven't really seen much of it. Maybe that's on rally tyres? I don't know, actually all-wheel drive working. Oh, it's definitely got no straight line speed, so that could indicate it's got some rally tyres going on. That would, I don't know if I have the PI to do that. Oh, it would have rally tyres and nothing more. We've ended up in turn 1 wall anyway. I wasn't stopping regardless. We then got help anyway into the turn 1 wall. Yeah, this track may be a little twisty for me to really be able to excel. It also doesn't help us. We're buried in the traffic. Dive through the water. Oh, a little bit too much of a dive through that one. Okay, that was ambitious is the word I'm going to use to describe that attempt at a corner. Didn't work. Didn't work at all. And the Volvo not going to enjoy this section just because of the traction. That front wheel drive 850 is not quite going to be so good through here. There's a little bit of lag from the Escort in third. My mistakes at the start of this lap have cost us. You can avoid that puddle if you're clever, which I wasn't. And, I mean, you can avoid that puddle if you're clever and if you have some control over, well, some grip. I don't have that much grip. And to put my car where I'd have to go, I think I'd lose more time because I'd be so slow trying to sort of make that manoeuvre. So we're probably better off in this one. Just dive through the water. We carry momentum in this, so it's not too bad. Oh, don't know where to brake for that corner. The answer is slightly earlier than I was there. That was not great. That was not great. We will clunk through the checkpoints. Now, last time around I threw the car a little bit too vigorously into this corner. That's more like it. Okay, maybe a little further up is not a bad idea though. I was hoping, I don't know why I was thinking there's going to be a clear patch on the inside there, away from the water. Of course it's not going to be because it's all lake on the inside. Probably should have tried the outside to avoid the water as best as possible. I mean, yeah, you don't want to go through the water if you don't have to. It is going to be slower. So, yeah, I mean, this one here, we actually got ourselves lined up for that much better this time around. Oh, come on RS2. Make it through these corners. We can maybe chase down an Escort for fourth. A little bit of a boop on the wall. I mean, we've kind of got this big line of not much happening. There's no real battles for position. The 155 seems pretty quick, I will say that much. That Alpha is, yeah, it's got some pace. The Escort ran wide. Now, it does seem to be lagging. Is it going to suddenly ping itself forward? Yep. Or ping itself around? It is. I think it might have sorted itself out now. Oh, it's ended up out wide in the wall. That is going to be the car. Oh, going to try and fight back on the inside. By all means, you can try that. I deliberately don't want that inside line because it's much slower through the water. Yeah, a little bit of lag, not so helpful. We are, again, we're about a second a lap slower. Okay, we have to be a little careful at turn 1 there because we were close with another car and everything. But a little bit of time lost perhaps in the battling, but yeah, we're just not quite fast enough in this, which is a shame. Oh, Simtric missed a checkpoint, which was the car sat up in second. That's the Volvo down and out of this one. There's a BMW not having a fun time, so whatever that's got. Say Eccentric's down and out. Eccentric's not out in as far as only fallen to 4th. That's how spread out the field was. We are making a stop at turn 1. Can we keep the Volvo behind for this lap? We know the 850R is slightly quicker. It got ahead of us and certainly pulled away. We don't quite have the pace of the Volvo, but we do have track position. That's important. It's always helpful to have. And if we do this right, we might be able to... We can see the Volvo also. Everyone's going for that much wider line, trying to stay above the water. You make some lap speed up there. I think we might be... If I don't do anything stupid down here, which... Fingers crossed we don't. I'm trying to avoid doing anything stupid anyway, if it's all possible. A little bit through the water there. Just got to be mindful of this section here as we head across the bridge. Can't quite get that right. Yeah, the Volvo is so much quicker through the corners, and is quicker over a quarter of a lap, but we will hold on to a podium spot. It's another podium with the RS2. Difficult, I say difficult to drive, a little uncooperative. I mean, it's air-ish in terms of lap time. It's there-ish, and the Escort and Celica weren't that far back from me there. Very close between, well, very close between us top 4. The Alpha actually getting the fastest lap of the race in this one. So, for our final race out here on Fortune Island, we couldn't head over here without having one trip down the, well, needle descent, the wibbly-wobbly mountain road. I'm not holding out much hope for the RS2 here. It's going to be very quick on the final bit. I think it's going to be far too far back to do anything by the time it gets to the final bit. It's going to be horrible down the corners, although it will be in front at least, hopefully, of some of the faster cars, or some of the handling cars. Oh, the 155. The 155 is got the same problem we do, so it's, what does it matter? I think the 155 might even be worse handling. Maybe not. It's certainly there or thereabouts in terms of the handling poorly with the RS. The RS2. The Evo 6 is going to get past us briefly. We're still in ghostly mode. Out of that one. There we go. I mean, we can make a little bit of ground. It's so understeery through here. Oh, hello. Sorry, my car doesn't turn, like, at all. And then it's really going to start hurting now. The standard tyres are part of the problem. The weight, a little bit of the problem. It's not a crazy heavy car. It's at £3,500. I mean, that is still quite heavy for what you'd run in Forza generally. The 155 might actually be good enough here. Gonna have to keep an eye. Oh, the other RS2 is done for having missed a checkpoint. Have to keep an eye out for the 850R and the Puma. They might get screwed a little bit by their poor start and being way down the order on the grid. That might hinder them a little bit. We'll see. I haven't fallen back as fast as I thought I was going to on this twisty road. Yes, we've got traction with the RS. I've always got traction with it, but that's not normally a problem down here because you're going so slow anyway. I mean, B-class cars aren't likely to have that much issue either. A lot of them anyway. Certainly sensibly built ones aren't going to have that much of an issue. Pega's up to 7th with that Puma. I mean, it's going to be very quick down here. The thing you've got to bear in mind is, as you can see, is very much stuck in traffic. So it's got all that speed, but it can't really use it. I have no doubt the Puma would be the fastest car down this stage if it was on its own. Around here, but much as the Volvo's just found out you can catch, but often there's an Audi in the way, and there's an Audi that's about to blitz all of you out of the corner. Here we go, because now we're onto the straight. We've held on well enough. It might be another third place. Oh, lots of understeer though. We've got to keep it together. Got one more corner to go. Hopefully we can be far enough away. Oh, that's not flat in the RS2. That really is not a flat-out corner in this car. It's probably not even a corner for the 850. Well, I mean, we've been assisted in that one. And there we go. We just outstripped the Ford towards the... oh! I missed pissing checkpoint. I was expecting to understeer a million miles away. I turned in expecting to understeer massively wide, and it just didn't. Well, I mean, that about sums up the race, really. Bugger and blast, etc. Now, the RS2 didn't really work so well at that track. As a higher speed car, it's not too bad. As I said, the problem is it's the second best of the RS2s here, and the 155 could also keep up with that similar style of build, if you like, the acceleration, top speed, compromised handling department. Yeah, it was alright. It was alright. I've built better. I've had better. I think I'd rather drive the Cyclone or Typhoon, to be honest with you, for that style of car. Certainly some nasty road layouts to deal with on Fortune Island. Some tracks that work for it, some tracks that really don't. But there we go. We win another 5,000 credits. Fun stuff. That is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to sign up and take part in the next one, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versity Community sign up section and you can register to take part in there. Shall be it from me, though. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.